So yesterday, I ended up having lunch with a social justice warrior, one of the rudest people I've ever met in my entire life. Now, before I continue and tell you the story, I want to tell you that the person who introduced me is a wonderful woman. She's a great person. We disagree on a lot of stuff. She has some feminist views as well. But unlike me on the camera, like out there, when I meet someone who I disagree with, I'm not like, you are a fucking cunt. You're a dummy. I hope you metaphorically die. No, I don't. I obviously tell them I disagree with them and try and have a civilized conversation, find a middle ground so we're not fighting. Because you're gonna disagree with people in life anyway. There's no point in fucking raging and hating each other. So the woman introduced me to her friend, and this woman again, the first one, she's excellent. We disagree on a lot of stuff, but we're still friends. We could find that middle happy ground. Now, you see, me being a YouTuber, I love also film. I love making movies and scripts. I'm writing a book, working on a video game. I have a lot of shit in the works right now. And the person that I was going to meet and did meet yesterday what is sort of in the film industry or is in the film industry in Toronto. So the first woman was like, maybe maybe you could talk about a project you could work on together, or you could, essentially have a meet and greet and network. And personally, I don't give a fuck about these things because I don't rely on anyone. I used to rely on, oh my God, get to meet someone in the film industry. But the film industry in Toronto stinks. It's shit. It's all these like mediocre movies, these short films. Oh, it's in TIFF. Good. Did you make any money? No? Then I don't give a fuck. Anyway, but maybe if I get into the film industry, I could work on a cool project or some shit. I had no expectations, essentially, going into this. I had no expectations of any jobs, of any. I was just meeting this person because I've heard so much about her, right? So on the way, this first woman, who I think is great, and she is my friend, told me, the person we're going to meet disagrees with a lot of your viewpoints on your YouTube videos. Now, I run into people who disagree with me a lot, and we could usually still be civil with each other. Now, so I'm thinking, oh, she disagrees with me, whatever. She'll be like, your videos stink, and we'll move on from there, right? I didn't expect to be disrespected and insulted for an hour and a half. That is the only reason I'm making this video, because I was fucking raging yesterday. And again, I'm not like how I am in my videos in real life. I was trying to keep my cool, and I was snapping. And this person, this girl, put herself on this pedestal, and I have to fucking knock her down because of the insults she hurled towards me. So we sit down, order a drink, and we're waiting for this girl to arrive. Finally, she arrives, and the first thing she says to me, she goes, oh, so this is the neo-Nazi racist? And I'm sitting there like having a beer. I have one arm on like a chair beside me, and I'm holding a beer, right? And I'm just like, wow, hello, nice to meet you too. And I'm like, so I heard you don't like my videos. She sits down in front of me and goes, first of all, black people can't be racist. It's the white chick, or a half and half with something else. But this is the first thing she says, and I'm just like, what? Like I try to swallow my opinions in public because I get really heated. But I was just like, what are you talking about? She goes, it's a systemic racism problem that our society has been built, like starts using all the fucking words, and she goes, blah, 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 and you're really fucking racist with the shit that you say. Your YouTube videos are fucking stupid. You don't even know what you're talking about. This is the first minute of meeting her, and I'm like, we're having lunch now? Like, may I just fucking get the fuck out of here? No disrespect to the first woman, even she was like, holy shit. And then she's like, nice Hitler Youth haircut, which I found pretty funny. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty Hitler Youthish. I was just trying something new, and I was like, all right, like that was pretty funny, but holy fuck. And then she started saying things like, yeah, like you just make YouTube videos. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. And everyone who watches you is a fucking idiot. This is the first thing she says. And she's saying fucking and fuck. And she's like, fuck this, fuck that. And I'm like, can you stop swearing? She looks over at my friend and goes, you didn't tell me that this guy was a pussy and couldn't handle fucking swearing. And in my head, I said, well, it's not even in my head I said this. I was like, it's not that I'm offended by swearing. I swear all the time too. It's just when you meet someone, you don't start saying fucking idiot. She called me a fucking idiot. I'm this, I'm that. I'm a neo-Nazi, I'm a racist, and yelling it in this fucking restaurant. And I'm like, Jesus, I'm not offended by the swearing. If you're like, fuck, I don't care. But when you meet someone the first time, even if you do not have the same opinions about certain things, you don't fucking swear at them and yell at them. And if we have different opinions, and I was trying to be like rational, like I was being very chill and relaxed. I was like, why don't you think that? And she's fucking yelling and da. The emotion is like I was talking to a 5-year-old. And I was like, what the flying fuck did I run into? So obviously I'm dealing with someone who is irrational, does not want to have a debate. She's like, I'm not debating, I fucking destroy people. And I'm like, I'm talking to a fucking child right now. So finally I try and drop the subject. I'm like, fine, let's just, and then like my friend was like, okay, let's just have lunch and fine. And then this girl starts like looking away and be like, I don't even know, like, may you find a new friend? This guy, he's not a good friend. You could find someone better. And I'm like, we disagree on one thing and you're being a fucking cunt and being really intense. Ugh. And then she starts pulling where she lies in the film industry. We start talking about film. We're trying to, but it's already uncomfortable. It's already awkward. And at a certain point, she's like, well, I'm an associate producer for so-and-so director. I'm not going to say. I'm an associate producer, so I matter. I'm in the industry. So don't fuck with me or I'll blacklist you from the industry. You ready for this? You're an associate producer. You aren't even a producer or an executive producer. Producers work under directors. So you're like the coffee bringer for the fucking producer. So shut your fucking mouth and stop bringing up the director's name because you're not working under the director. You're working under the director's producer as his associate producer. When you fucking start yapping about I'm a producer, at one point the waiter fucking was like, because she came last, he's like, oh, what drink do you want? And blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, I'll take whatever. And then she's like, yeah, and bring it fast because I'm an associate producer. Now, maybe she was obviously trying to be like bitchy funny, but it came across as just a rude human being. And I wanted to leave so bad, but I was far from my place and I had to wait for the ride. So I was just like, whatever. I grabbed some fish tacos and we're talking about all this stuff. And then she starts saying things like, like you're a YouTuber, like you don't understand film. And I honestly wanted to I wanted to fucking scream. I make very decent amount of money on YouTube now. After the explosion that happened last week, it's good money to live on and buy things, and I'm not rich or anything, but it's good. And now you're putting me down. I'm doing what I love doing. This is my dream job. And now you're going, I'm an associate producer. And she's like, I have a few films in TIFF. And then I was talking about how I made a movie. She goes, yeah, it won't ever be in TIFF, in Toronto Film Festival. She's like, it won't ever be in TIFF. Like, just straight up insulting me. When I checked out her stuff, I have a movie coming out in a few months, or I'm going to make it like a series. my series is way better than the movie that she produced. I'm gonna keep her name silent. I'm not gonna say anything about her for her privacy. But she makes garbage. All her films are garbage. They stink. My videos have more views and better production quality than any shit she's ever fucking produced under this fucking director. And what? I'm supposed to be afraid that she's gonna blacklist me, or you're gonna blacklist me off the I don't give a fuck. This is what I think about Toronto film. Fuck off. Oh my god, you're gonna be blacklisted. What? I'm gonna be blacklisted by a fucking pretty much an intern? Go fuck yourself. And she was saying the most horrific thing. I wouldn't say any of this story if she hadn't insulted me. And then she goes, you know, this guy, he's a 2 out of 10. I'm a 2 out of 10. This bitch hasn't had a boyfriend ever in her entire life, and nor will have a boyfriend in her entire life, because apparently that's how she acts in general. Like, this is not just to me. This is like her personality, and I was told by a few people, this is her personality to people. Apparently on set, she calls men bitches because she thinks that all men are bitches. So obviously she's a man-hating fucking asshole. And thinks all women are better and blah, blah, blah. And I like how she's defending, you know, minorities and gay people, and, you know, these people have to be treated well, when meanwhile, she doesn't know how to fucking treat other human beings without being a cocky asshole. Like, you have to think, you have to be a decent fucking human being, even if you disagree with someone. And she was saying horror, like the entire hour, I was cringing. It felt like I was in a YouTube video. It felt like I was in on the set of MTV News. I was so fucking angry. At a certain point, I said something that upset her, whatever it was. It wasn't even anything big. She's like, I'm gonna flip the fucking table. I'm like, gee, this is what the fuck am I standing in front? And then she has the audacity to be like, so like if you're gonna do a podcast or something, I'll be on it. Like, you want to be on like a like me having me on a podcast or something, because I told my friend maybe I'll have her on a podcast or a stream or something. And the whole point was to debate, but obviously I'm talking to her. She's like, I'll only be on the podcast if we talk about happy subjects. And I'm thinking in my head, I said to her, yeah, you know, like I was just, it felt like I was talking to a drunk person who was about to punch you. So you're like, yeah, buddy, yeah, sure thing. Like, you don't want to say anything that will make them snap, because she was crazy. She's a psycho. She's insane. So I was like, yeah, you know, we'll see, we'll do something, it'll be a good subject. Like, I was scared that she's making a scene in this restaurant and yelling and calling me Hitler and a racist out loud consistently, and demeaning my YouTube and all the work I've put into my life, and acting like associate producer. She's like, I'm so important, like saying shit like that. And I was just disgusted. So in my head, I'm thinking, you've been a cunt to me this entire time, and you want to be on my podcast? Go fuck yourself. You have fucking, 300 followers on Twitter. You're a nobody. You're an associate producer? Blacklist me. I dare you. I dare you to fucking blacklist me. You stink. I don't give a fuck. Please blacklist me, because then I don't have to work with you ever in the future. And then, oh, dude, I'm so fucking angry. And then she's like, I'm filming something like this year, like next year rather. Like, I have some short films and series planned to film for a change of pace on my YouTube channel and maybe some other channels and shit. And she's like, so she says that, you know, maybe you want me like as an actor in something. And I'm like, yeah, we'll see. And in my head, I'm like, go fuck yourself. Me have you on set? No. I don't even want, like, even if you're a good actor, which you're not, because I saw some of your stuff, you stink. Even if you were a great actor, I would not even want to work with you. You're a man-hating ass. And you want us to have equality to everyone, yet you don't know how to show human decency to someone you disagree with certain opinions on? I'm so enraged, I'm disgusted. And I've met a lot of shitty people in the film industry around Toronto when I was interning and trying to help people and trying to make something. I'm so happy I chose the route of YouTube, because I love reading comments. I love being part of fucking community. I love watching videos. I love the fucking job. I know it's a lot of editing and I film every day and I have to research and all this stuff, but I love doing it and it's fantastic. And I have a bigger audience than she will ever have for any of her movies. I don't give a fuck if you're in Toronto Film Festival. If your movie is garbage, it's garbage. And it got, I'm out of respect to my friend, I'm being nice to this. I'm being as nice as possible in this video. But if she sees this, and if she sees it, if you see this, you know who you are. Just know that you are an awful person. I never want to work with you. I never want to meet you again. And your attitude is not going to get you anywhere in life. You stink. You fucking stink. And that's me being nice right now.